So I guess I'll just view this weekend when I have time.
Yeah, and you can, we'll send you the video so then you can re-review with us.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm thinking the first step, let's take a look at that form together.
Okay.
And there's just a couple things that we need to work out that that I didn't quite know what to do with it. So let me bring that up. Bear with me for 1 second. So have we talked about how to test forms yet?
We talked about forms on the last call. So I don't know about testing them, but we talked about like how to build them.
So when we test a form, we really don't want the system to recognize that we're admin because that's not really giving us a great scope of what your actual members or non-members are seeing. And then on top of that, sometimes the system won't even let you test the form. Like if it was a membership application, for example, the system's going to be like, why are you taking this membership application? You're an admin. So it'll just give you an error message. I personally think the easiest way to get around that is using an incognito window. If you guys are using Chrome, which I would recommend using for our site, either Chrome or Firefox, you can always access an incognito window. It's always going to be, if you see this, mine's this little like yellow exclamation point. You might have 3 dots side by side one another.
Yeah, I have the 3 dots.
Perfect. When you click on that, there's the new incognito window option. Do you see that? I'm going to select the new incognito window. Now, if you guys remember to get to your forms, it's always the acronym at the front of your URL plus .memberclicks.net/, and then I can grab the alias and that completes the URL. So I'm just editing and I know that alias is located under the under the form settings tab, form settings alias. Okay. That didn't work for some reason. Is it published? Yes, CCP exam. CAAPA, .memberclicks.CCP. Huh.
Oh, because it's CAA, not CAPP.
Thank you. Yep, that ought to do it. Oh, that was your old site? Was that your old site?
No, I don't know what that was, but that's not us. We are CAParalegal.org.
Okay, I see. That's just another, I got it. That's the acronym for a different. Oh my word. Okay. So this is going to bring us to the form. I always want to test the form as a new user. I don't want to log in with credentials because then once again, it's going to recognize me as an admin. So I'm going to come in here as a new user, and you can use a totally made up email address. I'm going to register, and then it's going to ask me to create a password. It can be as simple as the number 1. So I'm going to create the profile. At this point, I have a prospect profile in your system, and it's going to bring us right into the form itself. So this is the beginning of the form.
Okay.
Does this look good so far?
Yeah.
After all this information, what I'm thinking we might want to do is put in a, I'm lost for words today, a page break. So then after they read all this info, they have to hit next, and that would actually bring them into the questions instead of it just running into the questions. You think?
I agree. Yes, I think that would look nice.
Cool. Let me add that, and we can kind of make these edits as we go. So then by the end of it, we can just link it to the front end of your site. Okay. Presentation, page break. Now what is that? That label text. Huh. Save. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to refresh this as we go along. So here's the form, but this time, and we need to get rid of these dashes. It looks like is that the only one left? Let's get rid of that. All right, perfect. Now, should these still be linked to these sites, or do these need to be other sites now?
Well, that is just our website. So that can just go back to, I think, under About CAAPA. Let me see, because I have the site up too. There's ethics guidelines, so we should just link it back to that ethics guidelines under About CAAPA.
So read the California Alliance of Paralegal Association ethics guidelines. I'm just going to site links. I'm just going to link it back to an article, and it's called Ethics Guidelines.
Yes.
Insert, save, and then the www.calbar.ca.gov, that's an external link, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
And then under the filing time period, that's just going to, I don't know if we need to even have that because this was a paper form before. Maybe we should just say all applications must be submitted online because they need to be. That was before we were going to have this website.
Okay.
I just don't think it makes sense. Or actually, maybe they did change that, but I don't think it makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's true. So I said, the application shall be considered timely filed if the application is submitted by blah, 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 45 days before the exam. All applications must be submitted online.
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys can go back and change some of this. So like if you want to see what I'm doing, I'm just in my form right now.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the login section, and then I've got just a label, and I just edited the label text when we want to edit this, and it brings up a little editor, and you can change any of this text in here.
Okay.
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 Cool. So then once they read all of this awesome text, they're going to come to the bottom and select next. And now they're going to be brought into the form. I use numerical versus Roman numerals. Would you rather this be Roman?
Nope. That's totally fine. Numerical's fine.
Okay.
In fact, the courts now don't like the Roman numerals as much. So.
Okay. Perfect. I also noticed that on your form, you asked for, I think, like prefix and a middle name and a suffix, but we didn't have those turned on to collect in your database. Do you want me to turn that on, or do you not care to have it?
It was prefix, suffix, and what else?
It looks like it was actually just middle and maiden.
Oh, yeah. I think because we have former names, they can put that there, but we should have a middle if that's possible.
It is possible. Okay. I'm going to go to attributes. I'm going to name, and I'm turning on middle. Okay. Sweet.
Yay. Okay, beautiful.
So then we've got former names, name as you would like it to appear on the certificate. Okay. Next thing, address home, phone home, email home. On your form, you have mailing address, just telephone, and just email, but they have to have some type of label. And this is also going to reflect in your members' profiles. So could we call these like address main, phone number main, email main, or should we have a secondary field that says?
I think that's fine. I think main is, yeah, I think that's, Julie, are you okay with that? You think that's fine?
I think so.
Okay, main, check.
And I'll
Address.
actually get to view the webinar. I'll make more comments if needed.
Perfect. Main. Okay. Awesome. All right, those are going to be updated. All right, then we've got CAPA member. Yes or no? I imagine that would need to be. Okay, that was my next question. Are these all required, by the way?
No, you can be a non-member and take the exam, but it's just for tracking purposes, because once the exam launches, if you are a non-member, it's going to be more expensive.
Got it.
I mean, not once
required
the
for them
exam
to
launches.
answer it.
Yes. So the first 500 people only have to pay $50, whether or not you're a member of CAAPA or not. And then after that, there will be a discount for members.
Okay, cool. What about, is the email, the phone, and the address, is all this information required for them to give you?
Yes.
What about former names? What if they don't have one?
Oh,
Just
that's
say
fine.
NA.
That can be optional. Yeah. That's like, I think, like, for example, I took the certified paralegal exam, but I took it under my married name, but all of my other like paralegal documentation's under my maiden name. So I have like technically two names for them to verify my eligibility.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Okay, cool. Okay, and then I applied field logic. So if they say, yes, I'm a CAAPA member, then this next little thing pops up and it says, if yes, association. But I kind of want to change this verbiage. So because if they hit yes, so I'm thinking like, say, please provide your association, or please list your association name.
Yeah, so one of them just, yeah. So if yes, or however you think it should sound, association name.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Then we're moving into part 2, eligibility requirements. Are you a legal resident of the U.S.? Okay, this one was a little bit tricky. List any criminal. So the way that this looked on your form before was this. It was like a table. I can't really create a table, but we could.
Like a
maybe just make
field
text boxes. Yeah, that could stay. Text box, I'm going to say.
And then if we need to attach a letter or a document at this point, can that be an option to upload?
Yeah. Would you want that before or after type of conviction, jurisdiction, date, and name if different from above? Above or below this? After. Okay.
Below, yeah. And it's optional, obviously.
Okay. So it'd be type of conviction, jurisdiction, date, text box, date, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Name if different from above. And then when they attach a form or when they're providing a document, what do you want me to say there for that?
Well, this would be that letter of explanation. So if we just call it letter of explanation or something like that, or no, maybe, and a copy of any criminal record reports. I don't know, maybe we can just call it documents or something.
Yeah, I was starting to write, please include a copy of your criminal reporting or of your criminal reports, if applicable.
Yeah, that works. Also, while you're doing this on the back end, I can't see it on the webinar.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, so I just, I brought in, please include a copy of your, to bring that in, I went to form fields, I went to file, and I just dropped in, or grabbed and dragged into this right-hand column, and then that brought me to this area on the left-hand side, which I just changed the label name. Please include a copy of your criminal reports if applicable.
Perfect.
So then if I refresh our page. I'm gonna have to go back through this next. Now we've done that. That looks good. So then I come into this area, eligibility requirements. Are you a legal resident? List any criminal convictions, type of conviction, jurisdiction, date, name if different from above. Please include a copy of your criminal reports if applicable.
Can you scroll back up for 1 second, back to the criminal thing? I think, I wonder if these need to be like, so 2 eligibility requirements and then do like A, are you a legal resident? B, list any criminal convictions? Or I don't know, do you think it looks straightforward or do you think it looks weird that they're 2 separate questions? I don't know. That's just my thought.
We could say, have you been convicted of, instead of list any criminal convictions, not traffic infractions, you could say, have you been convicted of any, basically what I'm thinking is add more field logic. So we could say, have you been convicted, yes or no? If they select yes, then these boxes pop up. If not, you don't even see them.
Yeah, I think that's better.
What should we?
So I think we can say, do you have any criminal convictions that you have received? Or I think we just change list to do you have? And then we can answer yes or no.
Okay. Do you have any criminal convictions? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Not including traffic infractions. And
then put a question mark after pending.
Okay, and I'm sorry. Let me show you what I'm doing. I'm working on 2 screens. So I'm on convictions on traffic infractions. Okay, and then we're going to make this required, and then we're going to say yes, no, save. And then from here, I'm going to basically apply field logic. So to do that, I'm just selecting the field that I want to have field logic. I'm turning it on. I'm adding the field logic. And I'm going to say, do you have any? If they select yes, they do have criminal convictions, then that's going to pop up. Same thing for type of conviction. Turning it on. If they select yes, same thing for jurisdiction. That way it'll just maybe make it look a little bit cleaner. Yes, save, date. And then name. And then lastly, the upload of file. So now, and then there's one other thing that I kind of wanted to do. I want to, this. I also wanted to add a little bit of space between each section. Personal info before section 2. White space. Before section 3. White space. I think that'll look better. Okay, let's try this one more time. So we're reading all this. We come to the bottom next. Okay. We've got personal information. That looks great. Eligibility requirements. So this is all that's there.
Okay, yeah, that looks better.
Unless I say yes.
Then it opens up.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, awesome. That looks great.
Would you like to have maybe also a line separating each of these sections in here?
Maybe. I don't know. Is that hard to do?
No, it's really easy.
But does that take a long time? Okay. If you can show us how to do, yeah.
I'm just going to go to presentation, and it's called horizontal line. I added white space in. That's what this gray box is, just to kind of help create some separation. But then I can also add in a line, just since there are so many parts. I mean, we could do page breaks as well.
No,
We
that's
might
okay.
wanna, and then I would
Not
use the
yet,
floor
at least.
as well. Yeah. We'll do a white space, and then I also did a horizontal line. So we can just try to clean it up, make it look as clean, and then this needs to be in all caps, work experience. All right, let's go back and see how this is looking. Okay. Personal info. I like the line. What do you think?
I do. Yeah, I think that looks good.
Eligibility requirements. If they hit yes, then it's going to drop down into the rest of that info. Next is education. This also is a little bit messy, just as text. Attach an official transcript from the paralegal institution or law school. So that's where we need to give them another, I guess, like a file for them that they can upload.
Yeah, and that can just be, I don't think we don't need like a logic as in like a yes or no, but we can, oh, Christine's on now. But we can just have a upload file button. That should be fine.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to say,
we should probably put it at the end of this, so like bump up open or unsealed transcripts will not be accepted. The should be in a sealed envelope. Wait. Okay.
But we don't really have to worry about that now, right? Because
no,
it's just being submitted online. Do we need any of this information anymore? I think we can just delete that whole.
Because they want an official transcript. So I think because this was paper before, so they were thinking people would get the transcript before they filled out the application. But I think what we should do is have them upload a copy, and that should be, and then I think we should have them up, because I don't want to get an official transcript. Are you kidding me? That costs money. That's crazy, but that's my own personal opinion. I mean, I can scan a copy of my bachelor's degree and my paralegal certificate and send that and upload a copy, and that's much quicker. So I think that we can kind of change that section, and we can say, upload, or upload a copy of your, attach an official transcript.
I can change that.
I think I had talked to them about that. So if you go back into that, and we can change the wording a little bit. It should be attach an official transcript from paralegal institution or law school where you change your degree or certificate, comma, or a copy of your certificates / degrees received.
Okay, comma, or attach. Say that one more time.
A copy of the degrees / certificates you have obtained.
I can spell obtain. I can do it. Okay. Cool. So that's been, I just changed that label for the upload file field, and so that'll reflect on the form. Cool. Everything else look good about this section?
I think so. Christine, now that you're online, are you on the call, or are you looking at the screen as well? I'm not sure. It doesn't look like she's muted, but.
It says she's offline. Christine, if you can hear us, you can also just call in with your phone. You can share screen, of course, but you can also just call in using the credentials for your phone to talk to us as well. Sometimes
that's weird. It just said that I left, but I'm still here. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, then we can say school name, degree obtained, subject matter, graduation date.
This will upload in just a bit. I just didn't want to go.
Can you toggle back to that original form? I just want to see what that section looked like. The PDF form.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. It's over here.
Okay. Okay. Because I'm thinking, like, I went to 2 different schools, right? Like, I have a bachelor's from one school and a certificate from another school. So we'll leave it like this for now. And if we need to go back in and change it, I think it'll be okay.
Okay. I could put school name. Like, I could add the
plural. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, yeah,
Yes.
degrees obtained. Yeah. Just because, like, I would have to submit my bachelor's and my certificate because of the date of my certificate. At the time I became a paralegal, I think I had to have the bachelor's degree. But there's some people that were like grandfathered in and they don't have as many. So it's, complicated, of course.
Yeah. Does it make sense to have graduation dates? Because I guess they could have more than one degree.
Right.
Like that they graduated with? Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I graduated 2 different dates, right? I have my bachelor's and my certificate, so that's fine. They'll be able to match it up when they see the scanned documents.
Cool. Okay. Next area we're going to work into is 4, work experience. I thought this was pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I want to add some space again between section 4 and 5. So once again, to do that, I'm just going to go to the bottom of section 4 before section 5, add form elements, presentation items. I'm going to add the white space, and then I'm going to add the horizontal line. So I'm adding form elements using my presentation field and going this time to horizontal line. It went where I didn't want it to go, so I'm just going to bring it back up. So that'll be added, but this is section 5, and I think I might have gotten stuck here.
Okay.
Section 5.
Certification registration, yeah.
So does that make sense where, please mark the correct credential. Could they be more than 3 of these? Like, could they be all 3 or 2, or could they only be one of these options?
They could be either a PACE or a core, or they can be 2 but not 3. So they could be PACE and NALA, or they could be core and NALA.
But they do need the ability to check more than one.
Yeah.
So I would say, please mark the correct credential, and then on the next one, we would say, with the file again, please attach a copy.
I need you to actually add one more. There should be, below the NALA certified paralegal, there should be a NALA advanced certified paralegal underneath that. Is that something you can add?
Yeah.
Which you can't, because like Christine is an ACP, we call that an advanced certified paralegal, whereas I'm just a certified paralegal.
NALA advanced certified paralegal. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Does it need to be assistant or just? You can
just take away the legal part, just advanced certified paralegal. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. So yeah, you can't be all 4, but you can be 2. So,
okay.
But yeah, if they want to check all 4, they can. We'll find out what they are.
Gotcha. Okay. Should we say, please mark the correct credential? Please check all that apply?
Yes. Yeah, because some people are RP and an ACP.
Cool. And then please attach a copy of the certificate and or renewal. Then we've got date received, number.
That would be the date your credential was received. I would say date credential received, or credentials, if you have more than one.
I know, that's credentials received. And then number. What's number?
I don't see number.
It is this field.
Oh, it's your certificate number. So when you become certified or registered paralegal, you're given a number so that you're tracked. It's called I don't have it on mine because I have the wrong one up. But it's certificate number, I guess.
Okay. Should we say
just another way for us to find them?
Should we say numbers? Okay.
Certificate or credential number. I mean, I think they'll understand what it means.
Okay, and then lastly, we've got still in good standing. I'm using a form field with selection set this time. I'm going to say still in good standing, and then it's going to be required. And we're going to say yes, no.
Okay.
That's sort of, I feel like, might be confusing because if they have more than one might be in good standing and one might not be, right? What if they didn't?
Oh, that's right. Okay, so if they click on no, then I would do a text box, like open it up to a text box that says, please explain further, or something like that, so that they could say, oh, I have this credential, or oh, I don't have this one anymore, or something like that. I think that would
got it.
That would clear that up.
So what if I said, please provide detail?
Yeah, that's fine.
So then, and then we'll make this a little bit of a bigger box.
And that's only if they click on no.
So I'm going to click on that field. We're going to apply field logic. If they say still in good standing, no, then this is going to pop up.
Okay.
Cool.
Yay.
Yay. And then we've got section 6, verification and consent. So I'm going to build this really quickly. So same thing, I need to add my separators that we've used. So we've been using white space. Then we've been using a horizontal line. Then I've added a label in, which is also under presentation. This is going to say 6, verification and consent. Added the label text. Save. And it's just a bunch of text, which is really just another label. I'm going to edit that label text once again. Boom. Save.
Perfect. Yeah.
It looks funky here, but we'll check it on the front end to make sure it looks great. And then traditionally what I like to do when they have to sign is say like e-sign, and then have them sign their name, put a date. How would we do this? Usually I'll do it like this. Something like by typing your name below, you
Authorize or something, or agree.
Something like, by typing your name below, you affirm under penalty of perjury that the information
Yeah, that's fine.
complete and correct. So then they type their name below, and then we would say date.
And then the only thing we need to change is because this one says I have paid the $50 application exam fee with the submittal of this application. So we need to change the wording in that to say, I will pay
what if we say like upon approval, upon application approval?
Yeah.
Comma, I do agree to pay the $50
exam fee.
The $50 exam fee.
Yeah. And I need to say, and I understand this fee is non-refundable.
Ah, okay. I understand this fee is non.
And then if we could bold and underline that.
Just the I understand the fee is.
Just the non-refundable word. Or that's fine too, yeah.
Okay. So technically that's it. So let's go back to the front end and just give it a one more glance over. This is good. Next. Okay.
Oh wait, hold on one second.
Yeah.
Go back. I'm sorry.
You're
I just
fine.
wanted to see if the verbiage matches. So under the fee section, so scroll down a little bit. Please note that a non-refundable reduced examination fee amount is due at the time of submission of the application via CAAPA's website. Okay, so yeah, we'll have to we'll just reword that to say, please note that a non-refundable reduced examination fee of $90 will be due.
Here, I'm going to start typing that now. So we're going to say, let me find that part again. What is this under inaugural? Please note that a non-refundable reduced examination fee in the amount of $50 is due at the time of.
Yeah, is due once the application has been approved.
Is due
once the application has been approved. And then do a period and then approved. Okay, and then we should say a separate email will be sent, or something like that. A separate email will be sent with a link to pay prior to the sitting for the examination.
A separate email will be sent, maybe like upon approval.
Yes.
$50 payment, $50. A separate email will be sent upon approval with payment options. Maybe a $50.
Yeah, that's fine, because it'll be 50. I mean, we say it above or in the sentence before that.
Is it due a certain number of days before the exam, or just like before they can sit for the exam?
It's going to have to be due. I would say it was due within 7 days of application approval, or 10 days. Let's do 10 days. Sorry, I'm all making this up as I go.
I always wondered how these forms were created. 10 days of the $50 fee is due within 10 days of application approval.
Yeah.
Should we say the $50 fee is due within 10 days 10 days of receiving notice of application approval?
Yes.
The $50 fee is due in 10 days. What did I say? Of notice?
The $50 fee will be due 10 days after notice, or within 10 days after notice of approval, of application approval.
Does that make sense? Application approval.
Just take out that word of.
That way they don't think that they just get to decide when they're approved. The $50 fee is due within 10 days notice of application approval.
Yeah.
10 days, we can edit that. That's
fine. I'm going to have to run that by my team anyway to make sure they're okay, because since we drafted this before, we realized we were going to be doing an online thing.
Absolutely. So this is now the pre-verbiage. Please note that a non-refundable reduced examination fee?
It is a reduced fee because once we are doing 500 people, and after that it goes up to $125.
Okay, yeah, you guys might want to think about that. Okay, cool. We got that. We're going to select next. We've got personal information. Looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Eligibility requirements. If they select no, nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Perfect.
If they select yes, they've got the pop-up.
Okay.
Education. They can upload a file.
Okay.
Work experience.
Oh, you know what? Can we at the end of that, after dates of employment, can we add a box that says upload current CV or something like that, in case they want to, instead of having to type all that in, they could just upload a copy of their CV.
Yeah.
Or we could say, or upload a copy of current CV.
Yeah. File, what just happened? I was thinking like, please feel free to upload a copy of your, did you say CD?
V as in Victor.
Please feel free to upload a copy of your CV.
I would say current CV.
In place of info above or something, or is that fine?
Yeah, in lieu of filling in the above boxes.
You're going to laugh at me. In lieu.
I know. I think it's L-E-I-U. Or
yes,
L-I-U. Or L-I-E-U. I know. I do the same thing with the word lean all the time.
I'm like, there's a combination of vowels somewhere in there. I'm the worst speller. It's probably my biggest
I am too.
Please feel free to upload a copy of your current CV in lieu of above information.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Cool. That's going to be right down below here. Then we've got certification registration. And if they say still in good standing and they say no, it's going to pop up, please provide detail.
Okay.
And then we've got verification and consent. And then submit.
Yep.
So that took us most of our hour today.
I know.
But we've got it done. I'm sorry. It just had a lot of nitpicky pieces to it that I wasn't exactly sure how they needed to be handled.
That's fine. And I'm glad we did that because it needed to get done.
The only other thing that I would ask that you do that's going to be really important is down at the bottom, setting up the confirmation section. So this is where it's going to pop up and say, thank you for submitting your form. But this is also, if you select the properties, this is where you're going to set up that confirmation email where you might want to reiterate, thank you for your submission. Upon approval, we'll be reviewing your form submission in the next 48 hours. Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at the form still. Are you on the back end?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I can't see that on my screen.
Can you see my screen right now?
Yeah, but it's just, I'm looking at the application. I'm not looking at like the form builder or form creator section.
I gotcha. Yeah, so it's just going to be all the way at the bottom under the confirmation properties and edit confirmation email.
I can't see that yet. I can't see that on my screen. All I see is the form. Like that would be like if I was to create or register for the exam, I'm looking at that.
Oh, like on the front end?
Yeah, I'm looking at the front end. I'm not looking at the back end right now.
Gotcha. Okay, so this would be, wait, on my screen?
Yeah, so on the meeting screen, all I see is section 6, verification and consent of application.
It must have
are you working? Oh, okay, I'm like, are you working in the back end? Okay.
That's weird. Can you still not, how about now?
No, it's just, I think it froze because the mouse on here has not moved either and it's not blinking.
Weird. Yeah, it froze up on us. So if you go to the administrative side and you go into the form to edit it and you scroll all the way to the bottom, and of course I'm going to send you this recording. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's going to be a confirmation section.
Okay. That's funny.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, so I do only have like 7 more minutes. What were some of the other
fine.
that we
I
wanted to
need
talk
to,
about?
if you can show me real quick, although if it's frozen, maybe I can't see it. I need to know how I can start uploading documents and stuff so that we can have our own little board folder that just my board members can access and like upload files and download, etc. Because we want to have like a repository, if you will, through the website that we can share documents.
Yeah, so what I would recommend doing, you can either just create it in the media manager, but you could also create a committee. That would also be accessible on the front end when they're in their profile for board of directors,
Okay.
and only the board could see it. Does that sound like something you'd want to do?
Yes. Yeah.
Can you still not see my screen?
No, I can't. So why don't we hold off on that? Do you have availability like tomorrow or later today to quickly go over that? Just because I need it to be recorded so I can, oh, now I can see.
You can?
Yeah.
Cool. So we're going to go to community and committees.
Okay.
You might be seeing, yeah, are you seeing my mouse move?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to set this up and then show you how to access it. But basically, I'm going to go to add a new committee. And I'm going to call it Board of Directors. I've done this for board a couple times. We can make it active. I'm going to keep it off right now. Committee type, I'm just going to say board. You can add a description, but you don't have to. Do you have board positions, or are they all just like a chair?
Oh, some are some are the vice president and some are just a director. So I would just write directors or something. I would say executive and directors or something. Yeah.
Director and then executive.
Well, it would be, yeah, executive. Thank you. Perfect.
And then you can add members. So you would be on this. I'm just going to put you both of yours in there.
Fine.
And then are you a director or exec? You're the executive?
And then the webmaster would be a director, but that's okay. Or not a director,
So,
just a but yeah.
You can continue to add members through this way.
Okay.
And then so like, who's another example?
All of these people, everybody that's listed in there, all 33 would be, these are all directors.
And I'm just going to hit next. And I'm just going to put them all in here as directors, and you can change that.
Okay.
So now you've got 35 because 2 are you. If I click on Board of Directors, if you guys send messages to one another, it's going to show up in this area. All the members of the committee will show up in this area. You can change the position. You can remove. And then files. So you can go ahead and start uploading files in here.
Okay.
Now on the front end, this is kind of cool. I'm going to go to, make sure I've got this right. On the front end, I'm going to try to assume your profile really quickly. So if you wanted to see what people see on the front end, you can just go into their profile and select actions and assume their profile. It's going to allow you to see exactly what they see. So I just did that for you. Oh, it didn't do what I wanted it to do. Bear with me for one more second. I can do that.
Okay.
I just need to.
That's okay. I might have to jump out in like a minute because I have a meeting. It starts at 1. So, just like you.
And I want to go ahead and schedule some more time. I don't have any more time tomorrow. I'm sorry, today or tomorrow.
Just put me in your next noon or 12:30 meeting slot and just send me a link. I'll take it, whatever time that is.
And what time zone are you again?
Pacific.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Let me just.
And now we're on daylight savings time.
This daylight savings time
Yeah,
it's
still 3 hours.
It's true. It's the same, yeah. But it is getting dark. I don't know about you guys, but on the East Coast,
Yeah.
oh my, okay. So
yeah,
I can't get there quick enough.
4:30.
Yeah, exactly. But I can't get there fast enough, but we'll look at it more next time. But basically you can go into your profile and you can view your committees. So you can go into the board of directors committee. They can do that in their profile. So you don't have to give them permission to the back end. You can just give them permission to the front end, which sometimes is a little bit safer.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right. Well, I'm so sorry. I know you have to run and I have to run, so we can stop recording and